Every time we would visit the site before construction started, there would be new giant clumps of earth that had fallen into the water, and sometimes there would be entire trees that had freshly fallen in. We're walking along the tops of the bank and we look down and we get a bunch of butterflies in our stomach with how steep and tall that drop-off was. We wanted to solve their problem of their property just falling into the Rappahannock River, but we wanted to do it in a way that would provide essential habitat for animals like crab, for fish, and other modal macrofauna that really depend on that fringe marsh habitat. The design out here is trying to incorporate as much vegetative material as we could really do. For this kind of problem, a green solution is often the best solution, and that certainly was the case with the site. Walking through the project area is pretty nuts. There's at least 3 to 5 different kinds of wasps on the grasses themselves. Then there's Atlantic rib mussels that were embedded in the banks. Snails going up the grasses, and then once you get into the water it gets really interesting. You get fish, and there's big fish and there's little fish going around. There's tons of fiddler crab, there's blue crab, and not to mention all of the animals that like to prey on those animals. So you have blue heron that hang out on the rock structures that we built. There's ospreys circling overhead. There's so much activity. All of that activity is just from this one kind of grass and some sand and water and rocks. And it's such a simple system, but there's so much life in it. One thing to keep in mind is that this is just one small portion of the Rappahannock River, and it's been a great project. It's doing good work, but there's a lot more that needs to be done to truly improve the water quality of the Chesapeake Bay.